in this episode.
Then I said to myself, all right, if I have a $3 million hole to get out of, now I got to think bigger.
Yeah.
Now I got to start going after $10 million opportunities, $50 million opportunities. My brain started boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting to development. And I'm like, all right, boom. Like,
wow.
I got to go after bigger because I got bigger problems to solve now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I think that was God's way of saying, brother, man, you're a little too comfortable here.
Level up.
Yeah. I'm going to take all this away from you. You're going to do it over, but this time you're going to do it bigger.
Yeah.
Because you need to impact more people. Because that was good right there.
Hi, welcome to This Is My Why podcast. And today we are on site at the Ritu townhomes coming soon. We're going to be chatting with Aaron Charles, who is going to take us through his journey on development and how he got here. So please, give us a little background.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Aaron Charles. I'm in real estate, so my entrepreneurial endeavors is around real estate. Mm-hmm. I'm not really one to dabble in multiple businesses. I feel like, I got to master something and really learn it before I move on. Been in the business for 15 years. Time has flown by so quickly.
Yeah.
Right. I remember when I started at age 22 and I was thinking about all these things I was going to do in real estate. I couldn't wait. Impatient. I'm like, when I'm 30, 35, this is what I'm going to be doing. And here I am at age 35. Yeah. It went by so quickly. It's crazy. But
so you knew, like, at a certain age, you wanted to be a realtor?
Real estate investor.
Okay.
So I started off as a real estate investor. I knew from age 15 that I wanted to be a real estate investor. When I realized, I wasn't going to grow, basketball wasn't going to happen.
Got you.
I used to run track and field at a high level as well too.
Okay, wait. So the first dream was to be a basketball player?
Yeah, or sports.
Okay.
I used to play ball and I used to run track.
Okay.
And I loved it. I did well at both, but I just at that time there wasn't a lot of Canadian funding for it. There wasn't a lot of exposure, so I didn't really know where I was going to take it.
Got you.
Then I started to get bored. The constant training and all the discipline that goes to being a runner. And then overheard some individuals talking once, because when you go to track, you're around kids and their parents, right? Mm-hmm. And I came from a at-risk neighborhood, but I used to train at York University, so all my teammates, they lived in King City, they lived Vaughan, they lived all those areas, and I used to just hear their parents what they were talking about, like real estate, construction, this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I like their lifestyle, so I started digging into it. I'm like, I'm gonna do that.
Do you know Val?
Sounds familiar. If you show me a picture,
okay,
I don't know.
We'll have a side conversation.
Yeah.
He's at York University and he trains there.
I probably do know him.
Yeah, my daughter trained with him for a bit, and
what's
he was telling me he's been
club?
There. No, he trains track there, like I don't know, like Toronto Track Club, I think.
Okay, because there's
Val Gross, I think.
I think I do know who he is.
Yeah. Okay.
Show me a picture.
Yeah, I will. Sorry. Okay, go on.
So at age 15, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I didn't know how I was gonna go about it, and then just stuck to it. It didn't work. Wow. It wasn't a straight line, obviously, to get there. Okay. I had to work. So I just finished high school. I had no desire to go to college or university, and I guess because you kind of get to feel my personality. When I'm locked in on something, I kind of take the route that works best for me.
Your parents were okay with that?
No.
But tell us a little bit.
One thing about my parents is just like, they trust in me because they know I have the confidence, and they know when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And they know I'm not going to half-ass it. And however I go about it, it creates a little bit of confusion within them, but they've seen me come out on the other side victorious in many things, like basketball, track and field, or, I'm just always been a natural born leader. Yeah. I just like to go at things first. But no, so once I said that's it, school's done. I didn't even apply for university or college. Okay. They in grade 12, they brought the sheet, fill it out, what school you going to. I just gave it back to the teacher and said, I'm finished with school. I'm done.
Oh, wow.
And it was the best decision I made for myself because I find a lot of people go to school, A, because they're told to go to school. Mm-hmm. And that's a system that was set up for them. And B, a lot of people get to continue to hide behind school and waste critical years by going to school and not even coming out doing what they're doing. I just feel like they're hiding behind it. For me, I went straight into the trenches. And what that means is like, I'm like, okay, all my friends are at age to party. Cool. I went and rented clubs downtown Toronto, threw parties on the weekend, and I was making $2,000-$3,000 a weekend throwing parties.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh shoot, okay, I'm making money now. Then I got a job at the TTC as a summer student, and I was making like 20 something bucks an hour. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm making money. Then I got hired full time at TTC, and I'm like, okay, I got a salary making $80,000 a year at age 20, 21.
Yeah.
I'm throwing parties on the weekend. I'm making a couple grand. Okay. And I just start to do the math, and I'm like, all right, cool. I can easily save up 30, 40, 50,000.
Yeah.
And then my buddy was going to university at the time, and he was doing a project on real estate. And I went with him out to Hamilton, and I got inspired and like, oh shit, I can do this.
Right.
I'm like, what do you need to get a mortgage? And then he's like, you need credit, a job, and some money. I'm like, I got credit, a job, and some money.
Yeah.
And I just bought a property right there in the spot.
Just like that.
Just like that. I bought a triplex, $180,000. Didn't know anything. I couldn't even go to my parents and ask them about any advice because I owned a house before they owned a house.
Wow.
So that was like me breaking that generational curse just by being curious and doing it my way, and went out there and just on a limb. The crazy thing is I had $10,000 saved up. The down payment was $12,000.
Yeah.
And I cash advanced my credit card to do it. I went to the lawyer. I gave him the $12,000, the remainder of whatever, because it was a private sale. And he's like, yeah, there's land transfer tax and closing costs. I'm like, shit. I'm like, all right, cool.
Oops.
I'm like, what is that again?
Right.
And he's like, and you get a first time home buyer credit. So this is what you owe for closing costs. I'm like, all right, I'll be back. Ran to BMO. Yeah. Cash advanced my credit card some more.
Okay.
So I need to come up with another $5,000.
So you were leveraging credit
a long time
to do it before it was a thing.
Well, I always look at things from a logical perspective. Like it has to make sense to me, right? Yeah. People make things harder than they need it to be. Yeah. When you think about it, let me ask you a question. You have a credit card. What do you use your credit card for?
Everything right now.
Right?
And then pay it off, right?
Right, you pay it off. But you're buying things that have no value. You're buying a TV, you're buying shoes, you're buying this, you're buying that, and you're just you're in a constant cycle. Yeah. I took my credit card and bought real estate.
Smart.
I bought the property for $120,000. It was a triplex. It was cash flowing me $800 a month. Then I ran to BMW, bought a brand new BMW because then that covered my payments. Yeah. I'm like, sick. You know, so I was already like living that Robert Kiyosaki type thing. Yeah.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah. So that's exactly what I did.
That's it.
I ran to BMW.
Did you read that book?
I did.
Before?
Before, yeah.
At what age?
18.
Okay.
So I ran.
Good to know.
I bought BMW. I bought a brand new BMW. It was 2009 Beamer I bought. Yeah, brand new, 3 Series, all white. It was really nice. But the cash flow was paying for it and the insurance. Wow. So I got hooked. I'm like, wow, real estate can just take care of all these things that I want to do. And then I went on Kijiji because that's where I found my first property. I went on Kijiji, found a second property. And then I met this gentleman, and his name was Joe. He was selling a fourplex. So I ended up negotiating with Joe the fourplex.
This is your age 20?
I'm 22.
Jeez.
Yeah. Okay. So I have an addictive personality. When I get going, I get going. I don't stop. Yeah. It's like
no, but I'm interested to ask because you said you went there and you were negotiating and you were by yourself.
Yeah, I was by myself. Okay. Negotiating is just a fancy word for having a conversation. Okay. We're just having a conversation.
That's a good look on it. Yeah.
Just having a conversation about this property and we're negotiating. And the good thing is 2008 was the recession. Yes. So 2009, there was no buyers. Wow. So it was a buyer's market. Right. So I was out in Hamilton, all this inventory available, and sellers were willing to do whatever they wanted. Wow. I was getting vendor take backs, doing all these things. So I was buying property with no money down, pretty much, getting the full down payment covered for me from. So by age 25, I was just on a spree with that. I owned like 10 apartment buildings by doing that. Wow. Right. And when I say properties, so they range from duplexes to the biggest one I had was a 7-plex. Right. All before the age of 25. Wow. So at about probably at that time, $5 to $6 million worth of real estate. Sounds nice, but fuck, I was carrying that, servicing that, tenants, man, that was taking more money out of my pocket than actually. After a while, I was feeding into it because tenants weren't paying, and I learned about the landlord tenant board. So I really gave myself in the early years real life experiences, real life university. Never really had a mentor.
I was just gonna say, was there anybody ever that you could go to with?
I had this gentleman named Joe that I used to lean on for advice. But one thing I never like to do is burden people. Like, please teach me, hold my hand. It's exhausting, and some people aren't teachers. Some people can just show you. So I learned doing business with Joe through action is how I learned.
Got you.
We were transacting, we're buying properties off each other, we're doing things, and I was just get little, hey, do it this way next time, do it this way next time. But he liked that I was always active.
Got you.
And he always said, if I had to pick a son, if he had a daughter, he goes, if I had to have a son, I would want him to be just like you.
Yeah.
You're 21, 22, ambitious. And I'm living in Toronto. I'm driving to Hamilton. I'm working TTC nights, doing real estate in the day, all that stuff. So say that to say, I started off as an investor.
Yeah.
How I got my real estate license now was I wanted to sell some real estate, my assets.
So this is after owning all of this?
Yeah, I had a portfolio. Okay. Then I'm like, all right, let me be a realtor now. Yeah. Because I can help other people do what I'm doing, and I really understand what I'm doing. And it's some good way to make some cash while my properties are doing their thing. And when I want to sell my properties,
you don't have to pay out commissions.
I pay myself the commission. Yeah. Still charge it.
Yeah.
And then when I buy a property, I still make the commission. So my number one rule for myself is always to be your best client. So I'm my client first in everything that I do.
Right.
When I go buy a development site, when I go buy pre-construction, whatever, I'm paying myself commissions for doing that. I'm still doing the work. Yeah. Even though it's for myself, I'm still doing the work. I just separate things.
Okay, I have a question about that. And I'm bringing it up because it's a huge thing, commissions, and people are always trying to like mark down their commissions. And I like the fact that we talk about this. My husband, myself, my sister-in-law, my brother, we're in real estate ourselves, and we talk about like why do people shortchange themselves like to get a deal? Like you're worth your dollars. Yeah. And so hearing you say that, I think is important because you had the hindsight to realize like you're worth the work you do.
Yeah, for sure. The problem is, and I'm not trying to bash realtors, it's just that people are starting to see what your true value is.
Yes.
And a realtor, if you won't do it, someone else is willing to do it. There's no uniform, no one's standing in unity, right? A guy may be desperate for a deal and will do it for 0.5%. Well, that's kind of now people are like, if a guy's going to do for 0.5% and do everything that you're doing, why would I pay you 2.5%? So for me, I always, when I was getting my real estate license, my mentor friend, Joe at the time, was really mad at me for getting my license. He's like,
really?
Yeah. He's like, you shouldn't get your real estate license. You're going to start to think like a realtor. You're going to stop thinking like an investor.
Oh, interesting.
Because you're going to just be so commission driven. You're going to miss the point of building wealth and building value. I'm like, no. I'm sales guy selling him on it. But he was right. The minute I started getting commission checks, it was easy. Like I didn't have to come up with the money, buy a property, do this, do that. Right. I sell a property and make 25, 30 grand. You get spoiled. Yes. And then you lose the reason why you're doing what you're doing.
Right.
And then I caught myself. I'm like, ooh, okay. Let's get back to the wealth building. Let's get back to what got you to who you are. And then I started to really say, okay, if I did this for myself, built a $6-7 million portfolio at age 25, can I do it again? So I started to test it on my friends. Hey, you have 10 grand, you have 10 grand, you have 10 grand, let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Then I start to make my friends money, like money they've never seen before, 100,000. Then it turned to 200, 300, then turned to 2 million, it's like, okay. Yeah. Then I'm like, okay, look at all the people around me that I've, first of all, real estate saved my life.
Yeah.
Hands down saved my life. If it wasn't for real estate, I don't know what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
It's just, like I came from an environment that was very toxic, violence, drugs, I came from tough situations. I've been in tough situations. Yeah. It all made me who I am today. And then I said, there's so many other people that I grew up with that went through the same thing. Let me pull them. Yeah. I say, listen, if you got a little bit of cash, got credit, you work in a job, trust me, I have the formula. We can make things happen. So I start to joint venture with them on different things. I start to put them in pre-constructions. I start to show them how to leverage assets, show them how to get line of credits and buy real estate with that. Really getting and I start to see like, oh, I became the first homeowner in my crew. Now I created 8 homeowners in my crew. Now let me start to build on that. And then I start to build master classes and start to hold seminars and start to...
Which is how we met, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just really inspired me now to start to build wealth, not only for myself, but for my community. And yeah, we've been championing along ever since. But I feel like this is my calling. This is who I am. This is who I've always been. Like I've never changed.
Yeah.
I can have $100 million. I can have $1 billion. I can have 0. I'll always be the same person. I still do the same things. My habits don't change. Yeah. It's just my purpose is getting bigger. And that's why I like the name of your podcast, My Why. Yeah. And once you figure out what your why is, that's when you become unstoppable. Yeah. Right? If you're working for a dollar amount, or if you're working for a material gain, it's never gonna, when you do get it, it's not gonna feel
no fulfillment.
It's not, we're here, we've been put on this earth to touch and inspire. And when you realize that, that's when you're going to start to live your life different.
That's amazing.
Right? You got to make yourself available for people around you that you love. And then you got to do things that, you got to build an ecosystem for the people that you love that they can live off of it. You want to know that no matter where you are, your nieces and nephews, your children are striving off of the foundation that your people's, your mom, your dad, your cousins, whoever, you guys have to set that up so the young ones can come and feed off of that and strive. Exactly. On autopilot. Yeah. They just tap in, you know? Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do for myself, for my community. It's even when I'm no longer here, you know, the bank that they're banking with is the bank that I started.
It's your legacy.
The legacy. The construction company that's building the community is the construction company that I've started. The financial literacy and awareness is what I've started. And then it's just going on and on and on, and it's just we're just flowing. Like how the other communities are doing it, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So we're going to touch on the fact that you were a dad at 19. Yeah. So did that have an underlying like push for you? Like, did you feel like, okay, you know, like I'm a dad now, like I need to like do X, Y, Z, that like you had your son to think about? And then, you know, like, did that impact any of your decisions that kind of led to real estate?
It's crazy. I know the answer that you want to hear, but
I want to hear what you truly feel.
To be honest with you, my son never really motivated me to do anything that I'm doing today.
Okay. And that
it's just, you know, it's just, I always say to people like, that's just putting added stress onto you. Like for me, I never say like, okay, this is happening, so I got to do this and do that. No, I just flow. Right. Okay. I had an honest conversation with myself early on in my life and said, what am I going to dedicate myself doing? And what do I see myself doing? And I just stuck to that promise. Yeah. Whatever comes and goes in between that doesn't shake me off my path. Gotcha. Right? So my son came into the equation. He didn't rock me at all. It was just
you took him with you. I just took as we were talking.
We're just flowing. Yeah. We're just flowing, right? Yeah. I remember, you know, not having a babysitter for him or whatever. 2 years old, going to collect rent. 3 years old, he's paint this railing and don't make a noise. And while we're painting, like it's just part of the journey. Yeah. It is what it is. Just So I had great experiences with him along the way and great conversations. And you know, he was there when I bought him his first condo at like 7 years old. I'm like, okay, this was for you for university, but I ended up selling it anyways. Yeah. I needed to cash out, but it was a good start. I had the right mentality, right? But you know, I need some cash. I said, we'll circle back on that one. Yeah. But he was there when I transacted it, so I put those little lessons in his ear. But I always try to tell people like, you know, your kids don't define who you are, and at the end of the day, yes, your child is here, but don't put those extra pressures on yourself. Like, cause I have a kid, I have to do this and I have to do that. I have to do it. Just flow. When the answer comes, it'll come. You know. So he didn't really push me. I was already on the journey.
You were already there. Yeah. The reason I ask, and you know, it's interesting. So there's two takes to this. Some parents want to give everything to their children, and then there's another set of parents that are like, "You're getting nothing. Yeah, you got to figure it out." And you know, I want to hear your opinion on where you kind of stand with that, because we were talking about, building this and setting them up in that foundation.
Yeah.
Right. But do you also believe like he needs to kind of figure it out on his own as well?
I give my son everything he needs and nothing that he wants. That's my philosophy.
Interesting.
So everything that he needs, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Shelter, clothing, food, the basics. And then I just pour in knowledge into him. Everything that he wants, bro, like there's no value there, and I'm not going to put energy on it, and you're going to learn later on in life why that's the case. And I try to show him that, and he's my son, he's a really good kid. And it's because like from when he was born, I've always had these principles with him, like materialistic things don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, don't stress me on, you need this, you need that, And then he always just saw that his basic needs were always met, and that I never pressured him on anything either. Like, I'll never be hard on him.
Got you.
So we kind of have that relationship where it's like, don't stress me for materialistic things, and I won't stress you on things that I also feel don't really matter. Like, I don't pressure him for grades. I don't pressure him for career paths or whatever he's trying to do. I just say, yo, when it comes, and you'll figure it out. I said, the schooling system is not a system that I can judge you on, because I don't even know if you're interested in what they're teaching. Gotcha. Because I was also someone that wasn't interested in what they're teaching.
What's his response to conversations like that?
He's like, yeah. Dad, I agree. Like, he's just cool. He's like me, free flowing. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like there's all these systems and metrics that just cause unnecessary anxiety.
Yeah. And confusion.
Yeah. For me, my teachers probably thought like they knew I had a lot of potential, but they were confused by me because they just didn't understand like he gets it, but he doesn't apply himself. I'm like, yeah, because you teach me something I don't care about.
Yeah, you were bored.
I was bored. Yeah. The minute they showed me real estate, how to make money, how to provide for myself, oh my God.
You were interested.
Gone to the moon.
You just wanted to get to
so I know like he will get it. When he finds something, he's going to apply himself, right? And sometimes you got to give kids that time to figure it out and put no pressure on them. And when it comes to me, like, back to your question, like when it comes to children, I just feel like we have to do a better job of guiding them and making them understand that, like all these material things that they feel that they need today doesn't really have any value. Yeah. And I don't even want to pour it onto them. Right?
Yeah, I like that.
Like I was asking my son, what do you want for back to school? What shoes do you want? He's like, I don't know.
He doesn't care.
It's like so out of his system. He doesn't care. He'll put on the same shoes he wore last year and go to school.
That's like, the best thing you could do,
right? Because I've taken him out of wanting things. I just tell him be easy. Yeah, things will come to you. When they come to you, they come to you.
I guess that also makes them more adaptive, right? Like, so
exactly.
If adversity were to come up, he's not going to be so fixated on something that it's not going to be him catching himself to be like, oh my God, how do I deal with this?
You're not attached to anything.
Yeah.
I'm not attached to anything. It's just it's crazy.
That's a philosophy you were taught, or just who you are? Because we were talking about your upbringing, right?
My dad kind of has that type of behavior. My dad is like he's just the most calmest guy ever, yo.
Really?
Yeah, it's calm. He just
okay. So maybe that's where you get it from a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Like when I grew up, like we grew up in Eglinton West, Metro housing, and we didn't even have to live there. Because my dad was just like, he had a job. Yeah. He had savings. He just didn't have the financial literacy to navigate and move himself. So we were like that family that lived in the ghetto that was kind of like the good family. Yeah. And
he did everything to shelter you.
Yeah. My dad didn't let me go outside. My dad made sure I did all my homework. I had my own spelling words in the house for the week. I had my own mathematics. Yeah. All my own textbooks. So I was always like, he had this thing of be 2-3 chapters ahead of your class. So like, that's why I was always bored in school, because I'm always ahead.
Yeah. Your teachers didn't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Your teachers had no idea.
No idea. And then, but it's good because I'm the same way now in my work. I'm just always, how do you manage? How do you do this? Because I'm always ahead. Yeah. What you see, what I'm telling you about, I'm already like 2 moves already past that, So the foundation is there. So I pass that on to my son and just say like, listen, these are the things that matter. This is what you want to like. This is what you got to start thinking about. This is how you want to start positioning yourself. I said, listen, had a conversation with him the other day. I'm like, he's like, Dad, I'm starting to realize what you're talking about when it comes to friends, that I got to really start thinking about myself and da-da-da. I'm like, I'm glad you're getting it.
Wow. 17, right?
17.
Wow.
I'm like,
I didn't get that until my
20s. Then I said to him, and then I said, I can't wait till you're 19, son, so I can give you the blueprint, so I can show you how to make your own way.
That's amazing.
You know, so you got to talk to your kids like
so
how the world's going to talk to your kids.
And it's, even though you're doing that, you guys have this amazing bond. Like,
yeah, we're cool.
He's gonna come to you, like, you know that he feels safe.
Yeah, we're cool. I let him do his thing. Like, I don't pressure him, like, because he doesn't live he lives with his mom. And this whole summer I didn't really see him that much because he's 16, 17. He's not gonna run to dad's house.
Yeah.
So I'm letting him know, have fun, be with your friends.
Yeah,
it's cool. You know, no pressure. Like, just do your thing.
Amazing.
Figure it out. You know, these are your years to run and do your thing. So, you know, but I just want to have that cool relationship with my son. And like I tell all parents, even I'm like, stop putting so much pressure on your kids. Just talk to your kids how the world's gonna talk to them.
Yeah, and not
like
this
mom
baby or dad.
thing. You know,
exactly.
Like, hey, what's going on with you? Talk to me. What's happening? Why did you get that B in math? Oh, okay, math's not your thing. All right, what do you need? You need a tutor?
Yeah,
or it's just not really your thing. Okay, so what's your thing? All right, cool. So we're gonna focus on that. Let's focus on your strength. Let's map. I'm not gonna stress them out on something. Like, I wasn't great at every subject.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Yeah. It makes so much sense.
Okay. And I'm like, yo, bro, in the real world, you're not even going to use algebra.
This is it, right?
This is algebra in the real world.
Yeah.
So, like, and if you are,
that's it.
You know?
No, that's exactly it, right? And it's all about setting that expectation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about, okay, so we went from investor, realtor.
How I got my real estate license.
Yes. And then what's the transition like? So you got your license, you knew this was like a passion. How did you build into, you know, we talked about how you had the master classes, you helped your friends. Like, was it just a natural progression to get into development? Was that something that was always on the horizon? Like, where did that come from?
It's a good question. The crazy thing is, like, I've found success in real estate early. I dedicated myself to real estate early. The one thing that made me get into real estate development was access for myself and for my community. Because what I started to do, remember I told you I had the masterclass and I had friends and family and clients, and I was trying to get them real estate, and I was trying to get them real estate at a discount, B, with strategy behind it, so they can create wealth. For me, it's never about just buying a property. You don't make money in real estate just by buying a property. There has to be intention. There has to be strategy. There has to be
leverage.
There has to be a plan. And then I start to realize, man, like, I can't get enough real estate the way I want it fast enough and get it to my people. I'm like, I need to somehow be part of the ecosystem and the infrastructure that provides that we can build it out in mass. I'm like, oh shit. If I'm really going to do this and this is the mission that I want to do, the only way is learn real estate development, right? Like, I have to buy land. I have to be able to build the product, and then I have the power now to distribute it amongst the people that I want to distribute it amongst.
Right.
And so it's like your podcast is the perfect title. Like, my why was to help more people get into real estate, because for me, it's like I got a taste of like the candy. And I just want everyone to taste it too. Yeah. And there's so much.
But where does that come from? Because I'm just baffled, because it's such a giving nature, which you can't say is really natural in this day and age, where we live in a way where people are more concerned about the me.
I get my heart broken every day. Every day I get my heart broken. Yeah. Because I'm such a team guy, and I always try to put people in position to win, and I always. And this is a bad characteristic about myself. I would sometimes suppress my feelings to see someone else happy than to always see myself happy and other people not happy. Right. Because I'm so confident in who I am. Yeah. I don't really.
You want that for them.
But it's not even, it's like, once you have a certain confidence, you would rather give it to somebody than to take it for yourself. Wow. Because I always know I can always get it back for myself. And if I see that it's of value to somebody and they really want this, whatever it is that they're searching for, and I'm not even talking materialistic thing. I'll tell you, like, in my career, I really start to study love languages.
Okay.
And I'm starting to realize like, okay, you need reassurance all the time.
Got you.
All right.
Got you.
Take it. Oh, you got to be the one to say you did it. All right. Take it. As long as the end goal is we're winning and we're moving forward, I don't need accolades.
Got you.
People message me all the time, Aaron, want to bring you up for this award and this and this. I said, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
Those are just distractions for me to think that I did something. I didn't do anything yet. We're just getting started. Yeah. I'm still learning. I hate when people just like, oh, you're in real estate. Oh, you must be making so much money. I've made money in real estate. Yes, no surprise. But I've thrown it all back in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I live like.
You're all in.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I don't have a bank of mom and dad. Don't have the bank of the community. Don't have generations of generations backing me. Yeah. Everything I've worked for from 2009, I'm all in.
Wow.
And I've lost a lot on this journey too.
Yeah.
But to wake up every day smiling, because my purpose is so big, I know once it pops, it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be able to, okay, we change the lives of Black Canadians in Canada. We've changed now how people are going to view us. We're going to change the landscape of how things are. I just want people to just look at us differently. That's all.
Yeah.
Because it pisses me off when, like, you know, when I remember I had my R8 and I had a Porsche and I had all these things and people be like, oh, what do? You're a rapper, you're this and that. It's like, no, bro. Like, real estate.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in real estate? You have tattoos. So what? I know bare white realtors with tattoos. Why is it not an issue? But when it's a black guy with tattoos, right? It's a profile. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. Yeah. And then it's like, I just want it to be like those things really bother me.
Of course, so,
I just want it to be the narrative to be changed. Like,
yes, make the shift.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
and real estate's the tool that I'm going to use to make that shift.
Wow.
Right?
So you knew like that.
I just knew I had to take whatever I learned in real estate and turn it into a bigger mission than myself.
Wow.
Because I was getting bored. How many parties am I going to go to? How many trips am I going to go on? How many like,
yeah.
And I'm not one to brag and like how many watches I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
I remember when I bought a Rolex and a Hublot one at the same time once. And I'm like, then I was looking to get another Rolex. I'm like, whoa. How many watches am I going to buy? Yeah. Like, this is boring. How many shoes am I going to have? Oh my, how many cars am I going to have? This is boring. I'm like, no, I got to work on something bigger. I got to work on something. I got to challenge myself. I've always been a person that challenges himself, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I got to be sweating in my sleep. Like, I sweat in my sleep. Like, I got to feel, I got to wake up, like, charged. Wow. I got to be like, whoa, okay, I got to get in the office today because I got to win the day. Because if I don't, the day's going to kick my ass. Like, that's the energy I want. Yeah, that's what I'm used to. That's a jolt that I need, right?
Yeah.
So that's my why. Like, so it wasn't real estate development because I want to be. I'm okay with being in the background. Yeah, I really don't care.
You just want that end.
I do have to be in the forefront now because I'm leading the way. But if someone wants to go in the forefront, go ahead. I just want to see like my son, his kids know where they're going to go for when they want resources.
Yeah. Especially in a time like this.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we were talking, so you said adversity. I want to talk a little bit about that because not just in real estate, I think in general, there are main principles that people do and follow to kind of overcome certain things. So we were talking about your level of discipline. We were talking about your, just like strategically, even like your intake of food and calories, but it all matters, right? Yeah. And it's like, it really is a science. You said it best, right? Like it's a science and an art. Science and art. Like, take us through that because I feel like there's so many people in this very unsure time, depending on whatever they're going through, like it may help someone, like what are some of the things that you found yourself up against and then how did you overcome it?
Why do we keep using the term unsure times? Why is it unsure times? What are people unsure about?
Okay.
This is our time to live. God has put us and gave us this timeline right now to live. You're going to live from 0 to an average 75 to 80.
I guess I say
this is
that
your time to live.
No, you're right. People are unsure, and this is it.
People are unsure because they're thinking about the wrong things.
You're right. They're
thinking about survival. They're thinking about car paint. Let it go. If it has to go, it has to go.
Okay.
The best thing you have in life is your peace of mind, your health, your strength. Materialistic things, they come, they go. It is what it is. People are just trying to hold on to things that actually have no value. If it has to go, it has to go. I've had to let go of so many things in my life that I never thought I would ever let go. And when I let go of it, I didn't care. I was like, oh. Okay.
It didn't shake you the way you thought it would.
I was living in a 5,000 square foot house that I renovated and built out in Stouffville on a 1 acre lot on a golf course. I loved it. But in 6 months, I had to sell it and go because I just couldn't hold on to it. Business was thing. COVID came. I got into a bad business partnership. I was in a tough financial spot.
So what I'm taking away from this is you don't choose to get stuck in those situations.
No, I try to live with no attachments. I always feel like as long as I have my health, my strength, my peace of mind, then that gives me the foundation to rebuild. But if you let your mind go and you get stressed and you break down and you let diseases get into you and anxieties get into you, you can never rebuild.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to let these materials, possessions that are put on this earth that are false valued to conquer me and rule me.
Yeah.
You know, so I just try to put that into people around me and say, it's okay. If you, it's okay. We can rebuild. Once you have the knowledge and you really put in the true work and it's in you.
Yeah. You know how to do it.
Piece it back together. You just piece it back together. So yeah. So I know I went off your question. I keep hearing everyone say unsure times. And,
no, I'm glad you touched on it. I'm just saying, like,
people just need to tap into their bigger purpose and their why. If your kids are healthy, your family's healthy, and you're healthy, and you can see a way, let go of the things that you are most scared of losing, and you realize it's not that serious.
That's very well said.
It's not that serious.
Yeah, that's very well said.
Like in the pandemic, I went through, and I'm now getting comfortable talking about this, but my ex-business partner and I, COVID came. We had like 5 properties on the go. He was unsure where the economy is going. Long story short, we got into a huge thing, not to get into it, but it ended up costing me losing 7 properties and $3 million in debt.
Wow. And you're smiling about it.
Well, because it took me 8 months to get over it.
Okay.
That was the biggest business adversity I had to go through. So we're talking about adversity. That was the biggest business adversity I went through. But it was also the biggest blessing in my life.
So the 8 months, was it the time it took to go through it, or for you to personally be like?
Me personally go through it. Like I was sleeping 22 hours a day, stressed. Anxiety, because we had to go to court, all these things.
Wow.
They're liquidating my properties. Then it's COVID, when COVID shut down. I was questioning myself, like, how am I gonna get out of this? Like, then I have a son now. That's when that kicked in, and then
you were going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So like 8 months, I was like inside, like,
wow.
I was super skinny. I was like lost a lot of weight. And then I was like, whew, what's going on here? Like, and then when I let go of the first one, I was like, and then when I let go of the second one, I was like, And then when I started letting go, I was like,
a switch just went off. And you were just like, I'm done.
And then I realized none of these things killed me. None of these things are fatal. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta start over.
Another day. Yeah.
I gotta start over.
Yeah.
All right. And then, I ended up being like $2 to $3 million worth of debt. I was contemplating like, okay, what am I going to do? So then I said to myself, all right, if I have a $3 million hole to get out of, now I got to think bigger.
Yeah.
Now I got to start going after $10 million opportunities, $50 million opportunities. My brain started boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And that's when I started getting to development. I'm like, all right, boom. Like,
wow.
I got to go after bigger because I got bigger problems to solve now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I think that was God's way of saying, brother, man, you're a little too comfortable here.
Level up.
Yeah. I'm going to take all this away from you. You're going to do it over, but this time you're going to do it bigger.
Yeah.
Because you need to impact more people. Because I was good right there.
Yeah.
I was good right there. Without doing anything, if I sold all those properties, I would have had like $15 million worth of real estate, like liquidated. I had good properties. 5,000 square foot home in Stouffville looking over the golf course. I lived on the 3rd hole.
Wow.
Right? And I had an R8.
Yeah.
Mercedes and Porsche in my garage. Living good. Traveling, living good.
Yeah.
And then when I got smacked blindsided, I realized I wasn't even prepared for that. And the house of cards started coming down. I was like, all right, okay. I'm going to build it back and I'm going to build it better. And then I got humbled, super humbled. Like everything I desired and wanted before, I don't want no more.
Yeah.
Like I don't care for, like I would appreciate if it comes, but I'm not going to, okay, I need a Ferrari. I need this. Think about it. I'm not on Auto Trader every night, like dreaming about a car. Like, if it comes, it comes, right? Yeah. But I'm just not materialistically driven anymore. I'm very cautious of my behavior and people I let into my life. I'm more giving now. I'm more calmer, more spiritual. I'm just into like, health and fitness more. I find joy in those things versus trying to find joy in houses and how much money I got and status. I don't like, you can't invite me to a party. Like people like try to invite me all the time. Like, why? That's not the crowd I want to be around. I'd rather be reading a book. I'd rather be chilling. I'd rather be working on something, solving a problem. And then the people around me that I love, making sure that I'm there for them and I'm reliable. I like to be reliable. And then, so that's it. So adversity, that business adversity is what kind of got me shifted into development. Because I had my first development, but then I didn't have the Brampton, the Ajax, the Bowmanville. All these things happened in the pandemic. So the crazy thing is the pandemic, I got slapped. I got into a lawsuit with my business partner. I tumbled. And then in the pandemic, I rebuilt and got like 5 development sites.
That's amazing.
That's how long the pandemic was, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Wow.
But you flight or fright. Like you just either you sink or swim, I should say. So I knew I don't have it in me to fail because I actually put in the honest work for the last 15 years. But I do know setbacks come, and you just, when it comes to dealing with setbacks, you have to kind of know how to block out the noise. Because people are going to make you feel bad about it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how did that happen? How are you going to do it? And they put all these anxieties into you. But sometimes you just got to be like still. Yeah. Like do nothing. Yeah. Just
and block out all the noise.
Block out all the noise and figure out what's the real reason for all of that. So yeah, so that was my biggest business adversity. And then personal adversity, I guess, was started when I was like 6 years old.
6?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when my parents divorced, my mom and dad split up. My dad took me and my brother to Canada. My mom stayed back. So I never grew up with my mom ever. So from a young age, never had my mom around. Wow. So live with my dad. My dad is like very strict and very like So, and then, by the time I was a teenager, me and my dad fell out. So he ended up putting me in a group home. So I lived in a group home for a while. And then, 15. So I've been on my own since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So high school to high school, couch to couch. Yeah. That's the kind of type of life I live. Like a boxcar life. You still lived
within the sports community. Like you were still into track. You were still into ball. You weren't hanging with the wrong crowd.
Yeah,
none of that. Oh, so that happened.
Of course, I had hung with the wrong crowd.
Gotta ask. Gotta ask.
So that's why those things. So one of the, like, when I was in grade 9, I was city champion, metro champion, OFSA finalist for 200, 400 meter. Had scholarships coming through left, right, and center. When my dad kicked me out, I lost all interest in sports. Dropped out of school. I went from like an 80 average to like a 20% average. Wow. And then I lived in a group home. So I was just on the streets. I barely finished high school. Wow. But then I said to myself, when I caught myself back in like 21. So 21 is when I caught myself. I was like, yo, what are you really doing? You have a kid. You're working at TTC. You're a janitor. And you're throwing parties. Like, what kind of life is this? Like, this is not the life you thought you have for yourself. Because I was like down the path of like track, like going D1 and everything. Like, and then I said, I said to myself, I made a promise to myself, like, whatever happens to you in life, never make a decision that derails you for less than 24 hours. Like, I got derailed for 7 years. Yeah. Like, I was partying. I was going to all ages parties, clubbing with my friends at 15, 16. The things I was doing at 15, 16. Yeah. Bruh. You would think I was an adult. No, I swear to God, I'm coming home at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, drunk.
Your dad, who's super strict, but this time he's no relationship with you.
No, we weren't talking. Okay. So I have no mom here. No,
is this something that led to that fallout?
Yeah.
So
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
He was mad that I had a girlfriend and I wasn't coming home on time.
Yeah.
So he wanted me home at 4 and I was coming home like at 6
a.m.
No.
Oh,
p.m. after school.
Okay, after school.
I'm like, Dad, I'm in grade 9.
Yeah.
We don't come home at 4 p.m. But he just wouldn't understand that.
Oh no. So I understand that.
So he took it like he took it like I was disrespecting him to the 10th degree.
Wow.
You know? But I appreciate my dad for kicking me out at 15 though.
Imagine what it did to him to do that.
Probably didn't do anything to him.
No?
No.
Do you guys have a relationship right now?
Yeah, he just texted me good morning this morning.
Did you ever stop and ask him? Like, what were you going through when you did that?
The crazy thing about me and my dad, it's love-hate.
Okay.
Like, I know I should not hold anything in my heart, but then I have triggers.
Yeah.
Like, if he's getting too close to me, then it's like, yo, get out of here.
Oh, no.
You know?
Yeah.
And then he slowly creeps back.
Yeah.
So that's the relationship that we have.
Relationship. Okay.
I'm like that with my mom, too. Like, when she gets too close, if anyone gets too close to me for too long, then I start to push.
Yeah.
Because I'm so self-reliant on myself.
Yeah.
And people have let me down from such an early age, like 6 years old. So it's like I've learned not to.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was crazy. And my brother came up here at 3 with me. So I was like, take care of my brother and making sure.
So you were forced to be an adult at like the age of 6.
Yeah, age of 6. Wow. And then it's like, it was tough, you know, when Mother's Day came around and every kid's making cards Mother's Day, your mom's like 10,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Like just little things, Christmas, little things.
How did your communicate? Like, were you guys communicating when she was back home? Like, was she trying to?
Well, there was no WhatsApp like there is now today.
Like that's exactly it, right?
Yeah, collect call.
The phone cards.
Yeah, the phone cards. Yeah, you know, it was tough. Yeah. I remember always after coming off the phone, I was crying and shit. Wow. But then I just learned to kind of like suppress that emotion, like can't show weakness, can't show weakness. My brother's more of the softer one than me.
Yeah.
Me as like suppress. I'm pretty sure that caused some
but it's also
trauma
like you're the eldest, you know, like it comes with that responsibility of I gotta suck it up and make this happen.
Gotta suck it up,
like,
gotta make it happen.
I have a 3-year-old, like I have to take care of. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, but I went through that was very traumatic, and I don't really tell a lot of people that, but it's like it made me sad for like a lot of years.
Yeah.
And I do have my sad moments now too, and I think that's why I feel for people a lot.
That makes sense.
I feel for people a lot because I know what it is to just
be
missing something. You know what I mean? Like I've been like, so, but I'm happy my dad kicked me out, and I'm happy I went through those adversities because I'm a big believer now that the right amount of trauma and the right amount of adversity will make you a superhero.
I believe that too.
If you can go through shit, you can go through everything.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what's missing. And I know like
that's what's
probably
missing.
Gonna get some hate for saying that, but like that because you grow up in these kids now.
Entitled.
Oh my God. Yeah.
No,
and I'm guilty of it because you know there's
it's heartbreaking.
Of
like
you thinking like
it's heartbreaking. It's like you're doing your children a disservice.
Yeah.
Because we're humans. We're built to roam the earth, conquer the earth, and go through hard shit. Like it's like getting a lion and just petting it all day, and then putting it back. And then when you're done with it, you bring him. He's in the safari. He's gonna get trampled. Yeah, because lions aren't gonna respond to him like You're gonna respond to him like a lion. Yeah, right. Exactly. So for me, it's like I try to build myself and build my kids and people around me and say, listen, I'm gonna deal with you based on how the world's gonna deal with you. Yeah, I'm not gonna shelter you and make you feel like everything's all right.
You're setting them up to succeed.
Everybody. Yeah. Even at this podcast, I was saying that. Like, I want everyone to go and change up. All right, guys. Okay, kids. Everything down. Because they're going to hate you. Yeah. But I always say this, and my dad always said this to me. I'm not your best friend. Yeah. I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm here to instill these values into you. One thing my dad did was instill values into me every day till I was like 15, which I still use to this day. That's amazing. But they're good traits in terms of like, you know, discipline and, you know, just going to the end. These kids, they start something, they drop it. They start something, they drop it. They start something, they drop it. Yeah. You know, when it gets too hard, they complain. They blame other people. They do this, they do it. Like, you know, you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to see things through the finish line. Yeah. And you'll always take something away from it.
100%.
Right? People like to measure wins and losses. What's really a win and what's really a loss?
Loss is growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've learned more in my losses than I did in my wins.
Yeah.
Because in your wins, it keeps you in that same spot. You're comfortable, you're happy, you're celebrating, you're standing there, you're jumping for joy. When you fail, you run back to the drawing board, you start to assess, you start to apply, you start to hit it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I want to spend more time in my life failing because I'm actually failing forward and getting into more things because of my failures. When you win, you see when guys win.
Yeah, for sure. That's it.
You're winning right now.
Yeah.
Because you're in a parking lot at Tim Hortons looking at 10,000 cars right now.
Yeah.
Like, well, how productive is that?
Yeah.
Everyone's hood is up. They're like, you're winning. What are you doing for life? Are you solving hunger? Are you solving poverty? Are you solving shelter issues?
That's it. You're so right there.
Why you have a $1 million car? You know how many people you can feed, how many people lives can change. Just go build a school, go do something. Put your name on that. Like, who cares? You know, I see people wasting their time, and it's heartbreaking now to see. For someone like me who's thrown it all back in the ring to help people become something better, or at least see a way forward with what I'm offering, is just there's so many other people that can do that and have way more resources than me. Yeah, you know, I hang around some guys where their parents are super rich and they have 5 Rolls Royces and this, and then I'm like, bro, all you do is drink alcohol all weekend. Yeah, like, it's like, what's your purpose? What are you doing? Right? So for me, I just always want to make sure that with the gifts that God has given me, that I'm trying to help people.
That's amazing.
And then I'll eventually get what I want.
Yeah. But and what's that?
Peace and relaxation. I haven't had that in a long time. No? My life feels very chaotic. Like I haven't taken a vacation in like 4 or 5 years. I just want to be able to like just be still for like 6 to 8 months. Wake up when I want.
Can you? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like I have this vision of just when I have everything on autopilot and the construction's on the go and people are moving into their homes. That's the period where I can be in Florida, just rent a boat, live on a boat, and just sleep. Yeah. Yeah.
Finally.
Finally. Yeah, like a good sleep. Like where you feel the breeze on your back. And
because like what you've done is happening and
that's what I want to
finally
do. Because when I go on vacation, I don't feel like I'm on vacation. Yeah. I feel like I'm just here for 7 days in the sun. But I don't feel like it. I don't feel rested. Yeah. I don't feel rested.
You usually need the 7 days to get into vacation mode, right?
Exactly. I just want to be like, I just wake up and I just have a cup of coffee or tea and I'm just feel the breeze. And I know back home things are being taken care of, and I'm just and that's where I'm going to find my next calling. Yeah. Is it do I write the book?
Is there something like that possibly that you would want to do?
Oh yeah, I have to write a book.
You have to.
I've had the title for the book for the last 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you share what I have?
Yeah, I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, what is it?
It's called The Beauty of a Troubled Mind.
Wow.
That's my story.
Wow. That's deep.
Because that came about because everyone just thought I was always crazy. Like people around me today think I'm crazy. Why are you trying to do this? You're no, it's impossible, this, that. But it started when I was a kid. Oh, you will never get anywhere. You're going to end up in jail. You keep going down that path. You know, that negative Caribbean mentality. And then
they write you off before you even like.
Bro, they write you off before you even like can walk. Yeah. It's like, dude, like what kind of.
It's crazy, right? Because they don't even realize they're doing that. It's just second nature. But they're not thinking like this is doing. I
speak to all my peers and I speak to my brothers, my cousins and all that. And we joke about it. And we're like, isn't it crazy that like we've been suffering from mental illness since we were born? Like the things our parents used to say to us is like crazy.
Oh my God. Yes.
They just crush your soul.
And so I say like in our mother tongue, like everything sounds so much more like harsh. Like it could be the nicest thing in English, but it's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember running to like my dad or some mom or somebody and I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do. You can't do that. Yeah.
Shut down right away.
You can't do that.
Why?
Get that out of my face. You're just wasting my time. And you're just crushed. And then you just kill the spirit of just dreaming and whatever. And then your kids start to like look elsewhere for comfort.
Validation.
For validation. That's how you lose your kids, right? So Yeah, it's tough. So
wow. So that's it. That's the
so yeah. So the
goal is
yeah. So that's what we're talking. So the inspo of the book came from. So when I overcame all that and then I got into real estate, was the beauty of a troubled mind is the ha moment of I told you
I
guys.
got you. Yeah.
You guys thought I was troubled. You guys thought I was crazy. You guys thought I would become nothing. But look how beautiful it turned out. If you just gave it a chance and believed in it and backed it, it could have even been more beautiful.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
So I say all that to say, like, when you're not sure of something, especially when it comes to your kids, your partner, whatever, sometimes you guys just give it a chance. Because sometimes people just don't know how to communicate what they're trying to get out. So you got to wait for it to come out. It may start off ugly. It may... Sometimes the ugliest foods taste the best, or you know what I mean?
Well, this is it. And the thing is, like, no matter, like, even like with my kids, I look at it like that. I think, they have to go through their own journeys, whatever it is. And it may not be so beautiful, but like, I'm a big believer in the fact that, like, you go through hardship and adversity and you come out more clear of who you are, and that will make them a better human. My thing is, I just need them to be good humans.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with your life. Just, don't get yourself into trouble and be good humans.
Yeah. And it's like, I always say, like, the book also is like, the title is just like getting into things. Yeah. Right? Cause a little bit of trouble. Get into some shit. Yeah. Be disruptive.
You need to make mistakes.
Gotta make mistakes. Be disruptive. Don't be shy. You don't get anywhere in this world when you're shy and you're not getting into the shit. If you want something, go get it. Take your rejections. But did you read my post yesterday?
No.
What?
I know.
Okay, so what I was my two life skills, my two life skills that I've developed in life that always works for me is how to handle rejection. No matter what level you're gonna go to in life, you're gonna get rejected. So get over it. If you're shy, you're shy. We're all shy. I'm a shy person. You know that, right? But there's times when I know I gotta.
No, we didn't know that.
I'm actually an introvert.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I get called out on it all the time.
Really?
But I'm also when the lights are on, I know how to perform.
You know how
I'm
to
also
turn
a
on.
CEO of my company. I gotta, but my
to,
true personal self, I'm an introvert.
Gotcha.
I like to be by myself. I'm always in my head. And I think that comes from like loneliness as a child too, right? So it's like, but I do have this charismatic side of me that comes out, but it goes back in quickly too. Yeah. So if you notice on social media, I'm there, but I'm not there.
Got you.
I'm out there, but I'm not out there because there's always something pulling me back. Yeah. That's my introvert side. Gotcha. So I spend a lot of time in my head. So rejection is something that I'm always fearful for. I hate being rejected. Yeah. But then I realized, okay, how do I cope with rejection? Okay. All right. Go in there knowing you're going to get rejected. Because once you know you're going to get rejected, you're already prepared for it. Yeah. But in the rejection, get something out of it. So every time I get rejected at the next level I'm going to, I'm like, how can I help you? What value can I bring to you next time? So then I go back home with a task and a mission. Every business, how I got into development and I got in with the partners that I was with, this is cool. So I was going through my adversity. I just went through the biggest business loss that I had. And I had to find a way to make money. But I'm like, I don't want to backpedal and start at zero. I'm like, all right, I want to get in development. I got this development going on. So I approached my one partner. I didn't really know him. He just sold my car for me because he has a car dealership as well. And I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. I'm inspired. Where do you see your business going? And what value can I bring to that business? And he looked at me like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, yeah. And I'm like, no, seriously. And I said, can I take you out for dinner? Let's have a talk. We had dinner. We had a talk. And I said, okay. He told me what he needed. I said, all right. I called him like a month later. Yo, you said you wanted that thing? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm like, I found it. So I found him a commercial property for redevelopment. Can't get into the numbers and details because it's private, but it turned out that deal was a big lucrative deal for him and for us. And then he says, like, yo, you're talented. Like, you want to do it Then I brought him the Brampton deal. Okay. I brought him the Brampton deal next. And he's like, you want to just do it together? I said, but I don't really have the money right now. He said, we'll figure it out. Wow. And then, boom. Yeah. Got into development just off of finding someone that was on the path of it. I wasn't really in position, but I had the knowledge, I had the sweat equity, and I had the willingness to do what I had to do. And I figured out my 30%.
That's
I figured out
amazing.
my part. And now we went from Brampton, now we have Ajax, Bowmanville, we have developments. Now we have a lot of government programs coming now soon. All things that I've kind of spearheaded and led. Just off the simple fact was simple question. Where are you in your business? How can I help you? And what value can I bring to you?
It's interesting you mentioned that. I recently saw something where people were talking about, you know, we're so quick to be like, this person knows this person. Like, and we just ask, can you do an intro? Can you do an intro? But we're not providing anything to build that relationship.
Yeah.
We're not getting the right to ask for more out of that relationship.
Yeah.
But we're so quick to be like, can you introduce me to this person because you know this person? And that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. And I've also learned as well is I never want to meet anyone before the right time. Because people are always going to remember you based on how they met you. Right? Yeah. So a lot of people want intros and these things because they want to get to it fast. But what I'm starting to learn in my space, I wanted that too. Like, introduce me to this person. And then when I used to get introduced, it's like, yeah, I met this person, but nothing could come out of this. Yeah. I ruined my chance.
Exactly.
But the difference is do the work and the people you need to meet will come to you.
This is true. Yeah.
Build it and they'll come.
Yeah.
Now I'm sitting in rooms that I used to dream about.
That's amazing.
And they're coming to me.
Yeah.
Now that feels good.
That must feel good. I was
because
gonna
now
say,
it's like it sticks. It sticks. Yeah. You have something of value that people are recognizing that they need. And then you're like, yeah.
And they're listening.
And they're watching.
You don't need to try to get them to listen. They are listening. You have their ears already.
The best salesperson is a person that sells you nothing.
Yeah.
I sell nothing. Just tell me what you need and I'll get it.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
no, that's amazing.
Just tell me what you need and I'll get it. You'll never see me standing on the soapbox selling anything.
Yeah.
But you do know if you want to get into real estate and you want to be successful and you want to have a different lens on real estate, I'm the guy to call.
Yeah.
And everyone can stand out there and say this, and that, but I can say with confidence, my journey in real estate is a very unique journey in real estate.
Yeah, I would have to
because
agree.
My journey comes from just desire and will. I didn't even have an example at home for real estate. Yeah. I went on the streets and figured it out. Yeah. I never read a book about real estate. Just figured doing real estate taught me what a hard money lender is. Because there's times deals couldn't close and Aaron, this is a hard money lender. 10%? Okay, well, is it going to close the deal? Okay. And just
and then you learn after and you're like, oh my God.
These fees, you know, so.
Yeah, I know.
So
for sure.
That's definitely.
Wow, what a journey. Yeah,
real estate is, but yeah, man, like I love what you're doing in terms of, I hope the right people get this message and understand that, you know, your why is very important. Because I ask myself that question all the time.
Do you? How often? Because, you know, that was my next question. You just led right up to it. Because I was going to say, usually I ask that, but like you're this entire interview and it's amazing because you really live in that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm just curious. Like, do you intentionally ask yourself every so often or is that just is it a
Before
part of
I get into answering that question, this is also, you know, something that I live by all the time. Like, there's two things. I'm not scared to reset. Like if you go through my notebook, there might be a page today where I write reset. And then for 2 months, you won't see it. Then I hit reset.
Interesting.
Because sometimes I go down a path and I think I know what it is. And then some people stay wrong and strong for too long. I just fail fast, fail often, fail forward. Like, you know, reset. So I'm not afraid to reset. I'm always resetting. Always. Who I thought I was last month might not be who I am this month.
I was going to say,
I'm going to hit that reset.
Okay, so the reset is
it's just always redefining myself.
Got you.
Always redefining the goal.
Got you.
Not always being stuck in, well, this is who I've been for the last 10 years and I don't want to change. Change is good. Yeah. Embrace change. So when I get the lead up to that's why I always ask myself, why am I doing this? Why am I holding on to this? Why am I still in this toxic environment? Why am I still being bothered by this person? Why am I still interested in all these shoes and Jordans? What? So I'm always asking myself why.
Yeah.
To just purge myself to get to the core of who I am. Because I always feel like the best way to live your life is just when you're most authentic to yourself.
Agreed.
Lose the imposter stop hiding behind all these fallacies and all these material things. And that's why a lot of people feel lost. Because they've never actually spent time with themselves. Like I literally just spend time myself. Like after a long day, these yellow couches, I just sit there and be like, okay, who are you, Aaron? Like, are you being your true self right now? Or are you like trying to be something you're not? Are you ahead of yourself right now? Or are you at the right pace? Like, are you locked in as you say you are? Are you like what you're portraying on social media? Is this who you really are? And I check myself.
Wow.
Because I never want to be called out.
Yeah.
One thing no one can say to me is that guy's not real.
Yeah.
I have to be real 100%. You can check me on how much money I have. You can go Forbes me. You can do whatever. I don't care about that. But when it comes to being authentic to myself, I can walk with my chin high knowing my intentions were always good. And I always give myself that G-check because when you go into business, right, you want to make sure you go in there with a clean heart and good intentions. Because when things happen that are bad, people are willing to work with you through it because they know your intentions were good. Right? Because who am I to predict this economic downturn? All I can do is navigate it. I don't control the waters. I can't control a storm. Of course, I want no waves and sun and wind so we can just glide through. Of course, we want that. But we have to understand that business is a sport, and and people are on the other side coming for you, and it's just every day you're being hunted, right? But I found that when you communicate, when you're being honest, transparent, when you're true to yourself on the mission, people feel that. So when a loss happens,
for sure,
they're willing to work with you. But if they see you were this lifestyle and this and that and this and that, and all of a sudden our money's not there, it's like then things get a little sticky. So for me, it's just I'm more of a socialist than a capitalist. I used to think I was a capitalist when I realized that money wasn't fulfilling what I actually wanted out of life.
For sure.
And people may not believe me. They may be like, oh, this guy's talking shit. But trust me when I tell you, like, the adversities, the things I had to go through and overcome at an early age, you know, immigrating here at 6 years old with my brother who was 3. We left our mother behind, had to take care of a 3-year-old, be big bro to him. So I've always had to care and look back. You know, it's the difference when you live your life when you have to care and look back. It's very hard to look forward and only at yourself.
Exactly.
Like you had siblings. You probably had to take care of your siblings. So you know what, and then you probably now help take care of your parents. There's
That's exactly it.
There's just
it's
a
just
it's just in you. So so now when you have a client in the mortgage business, and you know they're going through a power sale situation, whatever, you're gonna jump on every phone call, call an investor, call somebody 100%. To help them.
100%.
Versus someone who never had to do those things in their life, be like, well, just sign, just
oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? So for me, even in my level of care, like my clients know and investors know they can call me at 10 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the morning, midnight. And if I can answer, I answer. Because I know
what that is,
what that means to them. Like there's just nerves or something that they just need to ease. Someone to just say it's okay. They just want to know that you got their back. Not like, oh, you invested with me or you bought from me and transactions done, so we're done until the next deal. It's a family, it's a relationship.
For sure.
As much as people invest into me, I don't ever take it for granted, and I look at it as family and friendship all the way through, right? Because we want to win together.
That's it.
But that also comes from playing sports too, right? Like I've always been team captain, team lead, so I always had to rally the troops, bring them together.
So you're just bringing those foundations into
it's business.
It now.
Business is your business is your life. How you live your life is how you're gonna live out your business. Exactly. Right. So when I meet someone and they do business in a sharky way, I always say to them, "You never got punched in your face before, have you?" And it doesn't mean a physical punch. It just means adversity has never hit you before. Because the way you're dealing with me, I can tell you have no regard to the human side of things.
Yeah.
It's not just it's not just about the money.
Exactly.
Buddy, $1,000 is not gonna make or break your life right now.
Exactly.
Right? So let's figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But some people just can't get over that hurdle. They're just too self-consumed. And I'm a very spiritual person too. And I know, like, you know, you can't be worshiping these things that hold no value. You know?
Yeah.
You know what hit me one day too? I was walking by. I'm like, this building's been here for 100 years.
Yeah.
This building's gonna outlive me.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I think
it hit me. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like these let me just live my life because these things that I'm chasing are still gonna be here.
Yep.
Let me just look up and just enjoy life, man. You know what I mean? Like all these things mean nothing.
No, that's it.
Who cares if you have 10 I hate when people say, how many properties you own? Who cares?
Yeah, what does that matter?
Who cares? Like, I don't own everything.
Yeah. And it's not even that. Like maybe that's not even what you care about.
Who cares?
Yeah.
People are always like measuring the wrong things.
Yeah.
If you own 10 properties, that's good. You're a millionaire. You're doing your thing. But there's a guy who owns 100 properties. Yeah. So are you gonna feel now lesser than this person because you're here gauging your life?
And where do you draw the line at that point?
Like, you just gotta be happy with what you have and just do it with the right intention. Like you said, your why. Make sure your purpose is just bigger than you, and then everything will just fall into place.
That's beautiful.
It's not that serious.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Like I've learned so much.
Yeah. I had a good time talking about it because this is like my healing too, right?
Yeah.
Speaking about it, sharing it, and this, you know, my goal is just if I can save one person's life,
that's it.
Then I've done my job.
That's it.
I'm not here to save hundreds of people. And if I do, wow, that's a bonus.
Exactly.
But just if I can change and inspire one person, that's good. But the crazy thing is, when I go out networking events and stuff like that in my community, so many people come up to me like, bro, been following you for 15 years. Wow. You've been giving me free game for so long. I broke generational curses, bought my first house, got a line of credit. I went and got it. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that's possible.
Isn't that amazing? Like, the reach and this is what I love about technology and like, so there's the good, the bad, right? Yeah. But like to utilize it and see the good, it's amazing.
Yeah. So like keep doing what you're doing. If you need if you need me to come on again, I will.
Definitely.
You know, we got. So, you want to know what we're doing for the community at least?
Yes, tell me.
Yeah. So right now we're working with a couple organizations where we're looking to create a deposit loan program for individuals that are coming into our developments.
Amazing.
So anywhere up to 10%, we're looking to help individuals. So some of it will be a loan, some of it will be a grant. So we're working on all these things to help people in our community bridge the gap to home ownership.
Yes.
Because we know, like, you know, right now people are more informed than they ever were before in terms of technology and reach. Credit, people know they need credit, job. Yeah. But the biggest bottleneck right now is capital.
Yes.
So we're actually going out there, reaching out to social organizations and writing programs to then transition people into home ownership. Because right now the government has this big affordable housing. Great. But we got to look at it like, what are we really doing? They want to build rentals.
Yeah.
I said, okay, cool. Build your rentals, but don't make it so targeted to our community. Our community, we ban renters.
Yes.
And have
the shift needs to happen.
The shift needs to happen. So we're going to them and say, listen, let's try to move those individuals into homeowners.
Amazing.
Because there was a study that I read that during the pandemic, there was the Black community missed out on $1 billion of equity.
Just because of the lack of resources, lack of knowledge. The more we get this stuff
think
out,
about that.
You know,
how did that $1 billion get created? Appreciation of everyone's houses. Yeah. Remember, the property values went up.
Yeah.
The Black community were the lowest owning group of houses.
Wow.
So when $1 billion of equity went up, everyone's property values went up. The Black community doesn't have ownership. So they lost out on $1 billion. Yeah. So how can this group of people get ahead in life, give their kids the proper education that they need, the proper shelter, get out of the violent situations that they're in, and see a way for themselves if the money is just going through their hands? Because the government, not with ill intention, they have the right intention, but they're not seeing that, listen, this group has been missing out for so long.
Yeah.
Right? And then we can't just keep throwing these Band-Aid situations and
we got to get
a backpack drive or a lunch drive or like, bro, We want real,
real change.
I'm campaigning for real change. And the crazy thing is, with what I'm doing, I'm now able to help youth see a way for themselves. Like, for example, the kids that came to film our site and the 19-year-old youth from the community. Wow. And they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. I didn't even know real estate was like this. I didn't even know a guy that looked like you could own something like this. Wow, this is what I want for myself. Versus being a rapper, being an athlete, like the same cliche shit. Yeah. They're actually starting to see, wow, my parents are homeowners because of you. Mm-hmm. My mom has 200,000 equity, and I can find, like, my brother and sisters can go to university. Like, just the basics.
Yeah, it gives you so much. The tools, right?
The tools.
You can, business, whatever you want. You can do so much.
Let's be honest, you're in mortgages, right? 90% of people's wealth and all that they own is in their home. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Correct. So if these people can't even just get that, what are they ever going to have? What are they going to be able to pass down? You know, like, we got to do better as a 100%. Society, especially in Canada. Yeah. So multicultural. To level the playing field, right? Yeah. And understand it's like, we're not here to take anyone's spot. Mm-hmm. We're just
There's so much for everyone.
Exactly. And we're just here to have our own ecosystem and make it make sense. Yeah. Let's just make it make sense, right? Let's like I get it. You know, there's people that's been here before and they build the way. I want to work with all of them. I want to work with the Tridels, the Daniels. I want to work with all of them. Yeah. But
there's an opportunity for them that is untouched.
Untouched. Yeah. And we say Toronto's a world-class city. Let's just start doing world-class things. Mm-hmm. I don't care that Toronto's a world-class city because we have great restaurants and we have great sports teams. Let's be a world-class city like some countries that I know, like Singapore and these places that actually care for the people, where everyone has a good quality of life. You want to be like, well, the average Canadian makes $180,000 a year and this is their lifestyle. And this is there's no crime. There's this. That's a world-class city to me. Agreed. But to me, Toronto is very unbalanced, right? And I think the biggest problem with Toronto, and I guess, you know, we're very segregated too, right? Yeah. Greek town, little Italy, this, that, little Jamaica, little this, little that, bro. Like, just strip all that. Like, you know what I mean? Because then you make people so restrictive. Yeah. Without even knowing it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and then everyone just looks out for themselves. Well, I'm Greek. I want to make sure Little Greek is good. I'm Italian, so Little Italy is good. Nah, bro, like, let's make sure everyone's good because it's not that serious.
It's a human experience, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not that serious. So I want to be able to start with my little developments that I got going on, be able to help as many people that identify like me and my community get into real estate. Yeah. I think it's our time. And then I think it's a good start and a good push. And so that's my why, that's my purpose, and that's what I'm working on. And until I achieve that, I'll be here. Yeah. And then after that, I'm on my boat.
You'll be in Florida.
And I want to sleep. And I just want to sleep.
That's amazing. We're going to share your contact information and stuff so people could always reach out, look up, where to find you, all of that good stuff. I want to end it on a lighter note. I just like to, for people who are curious, right? So my first question, 4 questions I have for
4?
you. Yeah, just 4. Favorite country in the world?
To visit?
Could be.
Vacation?
Anything. Just favorite country, period.
Favorite country in the world. It's a love-hate relationship, though.
Where is it?
I would say Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a saying, like, this is one of few countries that you can wake up every single day and whatever you choose to be, you could become.
Yeah. Facts.
We don't have natural disasters, wars. We don't have corrupted governments. We don't have to deal with those things. You can literally wake up, go to TD Bank, apply for a loan, do whatever. You can do whatever you want here with the least amount of restrictions. So I'll say Canada. The hate relationship part is the weather sucks.
Yeah, that's what we're known for.
Yeah, the weather just sucks. It's painful.
Yeah. It's painful. Yeah. You hibernate? Are you a hibernator?
I'm a homebody, so I'm cool. So but it's like even today, that little breeze, I'm like, woo, okay.
Yeah. I gotta mess with the sweater.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So that was a good one.
Okay, and then the next one is, what's your favorite food?
See, I'm not a foodie.
Okay.
I don't eat for pleasure. I eat for fuel.
Okay.
So,
okay.
So it doesn't really matter to me what I eat, is as long as I'm eating for a purpose, which is fueling myself in the way that I want and to achieve the goals that I want. So for me, look good, feel good, perform good. That's my
But
mantra.
like not like anything in particular. Like if you could eat anything right now, like what would you like crave? Like anything.
So right now I'm not doing the carbs. So that meal that I would choose has.
Okay, so no.
What's your background?
I'm Sri Lankan.
Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
Sri Lankans are actually like one of the best chefs in the world.
Yes, facts.
Tamil chefs are like world class.
Yes.
Like you go to any Italian restaurant, look behind there. It's not an Italian man.
It goes back to what you said about Canada, right? And it's about, my people left a war-torn country and like, that's it. You know, you make it work.
Place too.
Yeah.
And then you go to Dubai, all the friggin' chefs are Sri Lankan. Someone actually put me on game and told me Sri Lankans are the best chefs.
Yes, facts. I'm totally biased, but I'm totally running with it.
I'm telling you.
Have you had Sri Lankan food?
Yeah. I grew up with a lot of Sri Lankans.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up at Eglinton and Keele.
You're right. Okay.
There's a lot of Sri Lankans when I was growing up.
You're right. And there's a lot of restaurants out there too.
Yeah.
So if you can have carbs then.
Okay, fine. it's a boring. Oh, I have 2 meals that I really enjoy.
Okay.
I like curry chicken and white rice.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. You know what? I do too. So I'm not gonna say anything.
But I need the potato in it. I need the
and the chicken, the curry, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
That meal. I don't know what it is with that meal. That
it's
meal,
comfort.
It makes me happy.
It's comfort.
It's comfort. Yeah, it's comfort.
That's what it is.
The curry has to be done well. And then I like 2 Indian dishes.
Okay.
Butter chicken with naan bread.
Yes, me too.
And then there's this, I can't pronounce it. It starts with Vandulu or something.
Oh, Vindaloo?
Yeah.
Vindaloo chicken?
Yeah. And the lamb, I get the lamb.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fire. That's good.
I like the butter chicken. I'm more of a safe eater. Meaning like I like a certain type of spice, and that's kind of what I like.
That one's high. Yeah. So my favorite dish is curry chicken and white rice
with the potatoes in it.
With the potatoes.
No greens.
No, that's a cheat meal. So
okay.
We're cheating. We're cheating on that one. That's
no problem.
No greens with that one.
No problem. Okay.
There's just something about the curry chicken that makes the white rice taste so fresh.
Yeah.
It's like water.
Yeah.
It's like water.
Well, it brings a smile to my face because when my husband and I when we were literally living on our own, trying to make it, just make it. When I say make it, I mean pay rent, make it. I would make that 5 times. That's what we ate. Trust and me. He would eat that lunch, dinner, breakfast.
Trust me.
And it took us far because you'd make a lot. Right?
Did you traumatize him?
No, he still to this day I forgot how to make it like that. So to this day, I get a lot of heat of, you don't make it the same. And I'm I don't remember what I did.
To
the trauma, I don't know.
To the viewers out there, we're a little Caribbean-ish type. So that's our dishes. But my parents traumatized me with, I can't eat it.
What is it?
Corned beef and rice and cabbage.
So my husband's Filipino. So
can't do it.
I met Filipino food later. And my father-in-law, my late father-in-law, made the best corned beef. Oh my God.
I can't do it.
Have you had Filipino corned beef?
No.
Because you're traumatized. You gotta try it. You gotta try it.
So that's
life-changing.
So what's the next one? Let's see.
Yeah.
What's the next?
Life-changing. My traumatized food is sesame seed oil.
I hate that.
Yeah, me too. No, not a fan. So it's not really a food, but it is what it is. But okay. Next question. Hobby.
Ooh.
Favorite hobby.
I like playing basketball. And
still play?
And working out. Yeah, I play. You don't watch.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But do you play in a league or
Yeah, I play Sunday nights and Mondays.
Okay.
And I play pickup 3 days a week. So I play ball 5 days a week. I work out 6 days a week. Play ball 5 days a week. And I have no aches in my knees. No nothing.
Nothing.
When you
reading?
Reading?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I
have a love-hate. I have a love-hate relationship with reading right now.
Oh,
I used to be a big reader, but now finding the time. 2, the things that I'm reading up, I feel like I'm I don't finish because like I get it, but I'm trying to get back more into. I want to start reading more like autobiographies and biographies.
That's my thing.
I want to learn about people. I want to know their story. I want to learn about your mom, your grandpa. I want to hear those funny on the porch stories. I want to hear wake up at 5 and write out your to-do list. And, get it. I want to hear about. I find a joy in hearing about like, you know, there's an autobiography I want to read right now on Rich Paul. I really start to. I like what Rich Paul has been saying lately. You know who Rich Paul is? He's been like hitting it on the head for me. Yeah. And I realize I'm a Rich Paul.
Yeah, because he's a behind the scenes guy.
He's behind the scenes.
Yeah, but he's big moves, power player.
He's very like, he cares more than the result. He cares about the person he's representing. And he wants to see the best for them. And he tells them the truth. Like, you don't want to go top 1 or 2 or 5 because you want to go 10 and 12 where your lifespan will be longer as a player because there's less expectation on you. But if you jump right into the limelight 2, 3 and they expect this from you and you don't pan out, they're just going to get rid of you. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And then Rich Paul was also talking about like, you know, people in our community, how come we don't collaborate and we sell each other out because we just hate to see another brother be in that position, not knowing that I fought to get here to get you here with me. And then he was saying like we have a very I can't even remember the word he used, but we have this genetic thing in us where we like to fight and we're conquerors. We're taught to be conquerors. So if you're a conqueror, you're here to take. So we're stripped of the collaborative behavior. Wow. I was like, damn, Rich Paul. Wow. You're speaking like, okay. Yeah. I'm like, I get it. So I start to study people now and say, yeah.
That's the inspiration behind this podcast because that's my thing. Like growing up, like similar background, you know, you go through a lot of stuff. You have no one to turn to. And you find people that have gone through things and overcome it and become successful and they look like you and they act like you.
And then why they're doing it. And it's like, sometimes I used to look at Rich Paul and be like, man, this guy's annoying.
Really?
LeBron put him on. And then he spoke on it. Like, yes, LeBron put me in position, but it was for me to stay in that position. Exactly. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Game.
That's a bar. A lot of people get put in positions, but it's for you to stay there and keep that position. Yeah. That's on you.
And make it what he made it.
That's on you. That's on you.
100%.
LeBron wasn't there doing the day-to-day. That's on you. So for me, it's like, okay, God put me in this position. I have to stay in this position, keep this position. So what I do in this position is very important. Yes. And I have to now start to show people that we can be collaborative in our community versus conquering. So I always say, okay, young blood, you want to be a king? Be a king. Yeah. I don't want to be a king. I go, kings get their head cut off. So go ahead. I just give that disclaimer. Kings get their head cut off. So, you know what I mean? When they're coming for you. If that's the heat that you want, you can have it. But for me, I'm right here. Yeah. I'm with the people. Yeah. Go out there, be the king, rule. You see how fast they turn on you. Yeah. So I want to change the narrative that we're collaborating. So when people reach out to me, when you reach out to me podcast, it's like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
I thought, you know, I thought that. Actually, you know,
like, you know, no long talking. When? Yeah. Okay, cool, set up.
And you wrote, I'm gonna support you. And for a female, by the way, is very powerful to like have somebody we've met in different circumstances, not direct. Yeah. And I was just kind of like, it said a lot, you know? And I was like, interesting. Like,
I always try to live my life, no matter where and people always get taken aback. They're like, this guy's a developer, he's doing so much, but then he seems so normal. I always say, my work doesn't define who I am. That's just what I choose to do for my work. It doesn't make me a king or better than you. We bleed the same, breathe the same, laugh the same, whatever. Right. So when you hit me, anyone who hit people are like, damn, bro, you're like super easy to deal with and so chill.
So like, approachable, yeah.
I'm like, yo. Oh, you want to do pull up? What time? Okay, cool. Yeah. Make yourself at home. 11? All right, cool. Done. And I feel that's how I want to always live my life. Be easy, approachable, Because then we met each other in the flesh. Now I can hit you up for something. We can talk. We build a relationship. There's a bond there. Yeah. Anything you need, holla at me. Anything I need, I'm gonna holla at you. And I like to build real, genuine interactions. Now, like, I'm a builder, or you can't talk to me. It's like, bro, get the hell out of here.
Usually it's so hard to reach them.
They're annoying.
Yeah. There's so many people. I'm like, oh my God.
People need to stop making their jobs and their career define who they are. You're a human being at the end of the day. Exactly. When these lights come off and I'm out on these streets walking, no one's going to know I'm a developer or builder. Yeah. I'm just... In that case, I'm casualty of war now. Things can happen to me out there. You know what I mean? So I want to have as many allies as possible, right?
Exactly. Okay. Survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. It's a whole different game out there.
Exactly.
I want to be able to have someone to call on and be like, or I know this guy has a podcast. Oh shit, you want to do a quick little set? Yo, I met you. Boom, boom. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gotta move like you guys just flow like water, man.
That's it, right?
Just flow like water.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Was that 4 questions?
No, I'm coming to my final. I have an idea. I know what you're gonna say because you kind of touched on it. Mm-hmm. But if you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would it be and why?
Anywhere in the world. It's not gonna be Florida.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, but yeah, and then I thought, wait, you're not at the the mark where you want to be for that, right? So
anywhere in the world, where would I want to be? Jeez. For like vacation, for vacation, for just inspiration.
Whatever your heart says to you at this moment, like, could be any of those things. Could be something personal, could be something business, could be something goal-oriented.
See, I'm not really a traveler. I'm a vacationer. So I literally, in my hotel to the pool, sit there, room service, and that's my trip. And I'll say, I've been to Italy. But all I did was stay at the pool. Like, I didn't even see nothing. Not even one museum or nothing. Okay. I'm boring like that.
Is there anything like that on your list?
No. When I go away, I don't like to be too active. I'm there to rest. I need sleep. I think I'm joking. I need sleep. Oh my gosh. I need sleep.
I'm laughing because, I'm like, I need to see everything.
I need sleep. Oh Let me see. If I could be anywhere in the world right now, where would I want it to be? Brampton, Ajax, and Bowmanville.
Oh my goodness. Eat, breathe, and sleep your sights, eh?
when my projects are done, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be.
When it's done, so you could watch the legacy.
Yeah. And then I can be like, mission accomplished.
It's going to be there forever.
Like, I can't rest. If I go anywhere, I'm resting. I can't. I have too much to do. So, so that's funny.
That's fair.
Brampton, Ajax, Bowmanville. Those 3 places is where I would want to be when my projects are completed. Because that's a long haul. We've been pulling that for like a couple of years now.
Wow.
So
wow.
It's fun, but that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
Toronto, Canada, Brampton, Ontario, Ajax, Ontario, Bowmanville, Ontario, and Keswick, Ontario.
Yeah, all of the surrounding areas.
GTA.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, for those that are going to be watching and kind of like
because traveling and vacation is not the top of my list. Like because I'm not a big like get up and let's go to climb this mountain or go to this waterfall or I just want a pool, food, room service, food coming. Couple of drinks flowing, and then go upstairs, sleep,
and you're good.
I'm good. I'm a very simple person. I'm very simple.
That's simple.
You got to keep it simple though, because when you say how do you manage all these things, I try to keep it simple. I don't complicate anything in my life. I try to wear the same clothes every day, so I made my own little uniform.
Yeah,
I don't have to think about what am I wearing.
I saw that, and I'm like, so genius.
I'm like, I'm on a podcast today. What am I gonna wear? What shoes am I gonna wear?
Yeah,
nope, uniform.
Yeah.
Golf shirt, hat, go everywhere the same.
When
every
we
day.
touched base, I said, you be you. I wanted you to be you. Like, I don't want people to show up on the podcast and be somebody. I want them to be them,
Yeah, because I've learned the less things I can think about on a day-to-day basis makes my life a lot easier. So I eat the same food every day.
Yeah.
During the week, I eat the same food every day. So that consists of chicken, broccoli, sweet potatoes every day, 3 times a day.
3 times a day?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I eat 5 times a day.
Right.
I eat 3 meals, 2 protein shakes, my vitamins, fruit, and 4 liters of water. That's my day, every day.
That's it.
Success has to be repeated over and over and over again. I'm not.
You don't wake up today and be like,
what am I going to eat today?
What am I going to curry?
No. If I'm going to have curry chicken or chicken curry or any of those meals, I know that's between Saturday
Okay.
evening or
Okay.
Sunday.
So you know when
those are my cheat zones.
Okay, got you. Okay.
So
there's a zone.
it's cheat zone.
Uh-huh.
But it's a meal though.
Yeah.
It's a meal. It's not a day.
Is it like a meal and then a nap type of day?
No.
Because okay.
It's so after my workout, I'll have my cheat meal.
Okay. Gotcha.
And you have to have a healthy cheat meal.
Gotcha.
So the curry chicken's still good because there's carbs.
Yeah.
But then you got the protein in there because you got the chicken. The curry's good because the
spices are so good for you.
The only problem is we eat so much of it. That's what makes it bad. And then depending on how you cook, you may throw butter in there or whatever.
And the nap that follows. Usually
exactly. And the nap follows. And then you may wash it down with some juice or something.
Yes.
But so yeah, like, you know, the why is it helps you simplify your life. Why am I doing this? I'm eating the same food every day because I need these results. Okay, so we're going to continue on that.
Wow.
Why are you developing? Because I'm trying to help my community build and grow. Okay. The why helps you stay on course. Yeah. It keeps you accountable. Right? Yeah. It's not like a baby why. Yeah. Because why? No, not that type of why. Yeah, I've seen a video of my friend and her daughter. Why is that happening? Because this and that. Why? But why? But it's like, yo, bro. That why is a little too crazy. But you know, like my why is just there's things that just keep me accountable. My why, like, you know, like if I had a bad day and I lashed on somebody, I'll be like, why did I do that? I'm like, oh, because they triggered something in me. It could be childhood, it could be whatever. All right, let me go apologize to them, and then let me go fix on that so that never happens again. The why is just check-ins, yo. The why is just a check-in. So that's awesome. But I had fun on the podcast. Thank you. It's been such a pleasure. Yeah, it was a good day today. Yeah, it was a good day. Hopefully we do it again, right? Yeah, for sure. All right. Cool. And we're gonna go check out some sites. We're gonna let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we're gonna put your info up so people can reach you. When you look at those sites, just remember this was a guy that had no guidance. Started with one house and became that. Yeah. So, you know, you can become anything you want once you are true to yourself, dedicate yourself, and put in the work. So they always say success is 10,000 hours or 10 years. I agree because I've been in real estate for 10,000 hours and 10 years plus. But each task is another 10,000 hours, 10 years. Yeah. Well said. Well said. So on the development game, I'm not in my 10,000 hours and I'm not in 10 years. But on the real estate side, residential real estate side, right. I did my 10,000 hours, 10 years. Okay. But now I'm on this new path and journey. So every time I'm going to a new level, it's the new 10,000 hours, 10 years. And that's, where did that come from? Is that Napoleon Hill? Think and Grow Rich? I don't remember. That's a dope book. Did you read that one too? What? Kill that book. Think and Grow Rich and what's it, Rich Dad Poor Dad? Were my two favorite books that I read early in life. Yeah, was that by guidance, by choice? Recommended. Okay. Recommended. And then you picked it up. Yeah. And then a really good book was 4 Quadrants too by Robert Kiyosaki. That's another good book. You should read that book. Read that one. Okay. Read the 4 Quadrants. It talks about the left side and the right side. The left side is employee, self-employed, and then the right side is business owner and investor. Interesting. So you want to transition from there to there. And then you analyze your business and say, oh, okay, most of us right now, you're entrepreneurial. But then you have to ask yourself, am I self-employed entrepreneur or am I a business owner? And then am I an investor? Yeah, like where does it fall? Where are your habits and what are you really doing on a day-to-day? Like categories. You can't attain financial freedom and wealth if you're in the left side, employee or self-employed. Because your energy and your time is needed there. When you're a business owner and investor, that's more passive. Gotcha. So you want to grow yourself to the passive side. So right now, I'm like self-employed. Yeah. But eventually I want to be able to take my money and have it on autopilot and be a business owner. Yeah. I don't think I'm a true business owner yet. And eventually I want to be an investor, which is for me would be like the bank. Yeah. So I want to be able to have my own credit union, my own institution where people in our community can come for loans, school loans, whatever, mortgages and whatever. To purchase product that we're building and developing. So got a whole ecosystem going on. That's awesome. Hopefully we get there. You will get there. And if not, I pass the baton on to somebody else and they continue to run. But we're putting in the work right now. That's it. By the grace of God, we wake up every day with health and strength and we keep plucking along, I guess. This is it. Yep. That is it. All right. Awesome. Such a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. No problem. Did your battery die?